I'm joined on the Young Hollywood sofa with two extremely talented men, RZA and Ramon Rodriguez. How are you?
Good. Thank you
Good
for
to
having
be
us
here.
in your lovely suite.
It's nice, right? It's not a bad little setup we've got. It's not a bad little setup.
It's a good look.
It's good. You've had a busy morning, so now you can just chill on a sofa for a minute.
I dig it.
This is good. But you haven't been chilling. You two have been busy with Gang Related, this amazing show that's coming out on Fox this Thursday.
Yes.
Exciting times, 22nd.
That's right.
Yeah.
On Fox, yep.
9 p.m.
On
9
Fox,
p.m.
9 p.m. 22nd of May on Fox, 9 p.m.
Gang related.
Gang related. But I have seen the opening episode. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's like a movie. I was saying to RZA earlier, it's pretty much a movie.
Yeah,
which
it's
you'd
very
expect.
cinematic, especially
Right.
the pilot episode that you watched, directed by Alan Hughes, who's a fantastic film director. And you know, RZA and I have been talking about this a lot, how we feel it's very much something that you would see either in movies or on a cable show. You know, that's one thing that Fox wanted to do with this show. They wanted to try to create a cable type show on network, something serialized, something people can get invested in with these characters. And you know, I think the writers did a fantastic job of creating some interesting stories and dilemmas.
Well, Chris Morgan, obviously the
Chris Morgan.
Fast and the Furious franchise.
So you got some action because of that, for sure.
Just a little bit. Just
a little bit.
Which you would
Exactly.
expect. Which
Yeah.
you'd expect.
Granted.
Going into a show like that with someone like that involved, it takes a little bit of pressure off, you know, knowing that you've got a great team behind you, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had him, and then we have you bring in Scott Rosenbaum, who was involved with The Shield. So now you've got like this gritty edge, you know, writer who, and they brought a fantastic writing staff. Then you bring in a fantastic cast. You got guys like the RZA, Sung Kang, Cliff Curtis, Terry O'Quinn. You know, they really, I feel like they brought in a really diverse, beautiful, and also talented cast. And we have some lovely ladies as well for the gentlemen.
I noticed that.
I mean, we're trying to cover all angles.
Chantel.
Chantel,
Yeah,
in bar.
There you go.
In bar.
Yeah, not bad to look at.
And you got
Life's good for you too.
You got Jay Hernandez, you know,
Right.
who girls love, and some of the guys love Jay too.
Yeah.
So we got that balance there.
Jay goes likes both sides. Well, both sides like Jay.
Like him.
He attracts both
he's a
sides.
beautiful
Right,
guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
He is a beautiful guy.
Yeah, he's a
I
beautiful
can
guy.
say that. I
No,
feel
he's a
great
beautiful
about
guy.
it.
He's
I
like
can
a
say
Brad,
that.
like a
Yeah,
Spanish
we
Brad
can
Pitt
all
or
say
something.
that.
It was tough to do scenes.
Yeah, I can see it. But your character, Ryan Lopez, Detective Ryan Lopez, in the show, really a lot of depth to this character. I mean, the guy's caught in two worlds, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, raised by this family who happens to be a gang, Los Angelicos, and this father figure who's played by Cliff Curtis, Javier Acosta. And so, yeah, Ryan feels indebted to this guy who saved him as a young boy and will do anything for him. And, you know, Javier really sold him on this vision of taking this family and getting them out of it.
Right.
You know, and that kind of is we were talking about this earlier, kind of a Godfather-esque element of trying to they actually base his character off of Joe Kennedy.
Right.
You know, so it's cool that you see these supposedly villains, bad guys, but they kind of have really great intentions.
Right.
And so that's where the show, I think, gets complex and interesting. You got heroes or cops that are supposed to be good guys doing some things that could be questionable, and you've got villains, quote unquote, bad guys doing things that, you know, you might think are honorable or justified.
I play a character called Cassius Green, who I think Cassius really believes that the law enforcement can make a difference. And, you know, he doesn't see Javier Acosta any good in him. He sees him as a guy who he wants to bring down, because as you watch the season, you'll see that there's a lot of violence going on. The body count is increasing because you have the Latinos fighting the brothers, you have the Russian gang, the Korean gangs, and death is filling the city. And I think Cassius is like, Javier Acosta is the man responsible for these deaths. But at the same time, when you go into the community, as we're doing surveillance, we're seeing that the community love this guy. Yeah. Right. He's actually a Robin Hood to the community. Yeah. And so it's a real conflict there for us as officers, and us as our characters are looking like, yo, in a way, we want this guy to come down, but his people treat him like he's the mayor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anything about the gang members, you know, I grew up, you know, in the streets of New York, part of the Wu-Tang Clan. Was, you know, in New York, sometimes the cops consider us a gang. There's so many members of my crew, and you know, every day we would, you know, live in the street life. We had no respect for the police because we never saw them as humans. You know, we just saw them as the enemy. And doing this particular show for me, and working with the law enforcement, the SWAT team, and some of LAPD, I realized the human nature of the cops. You know, they are guys who are, you know, bonded through their brotherhood. They want to go to work. They don't want to see their partner get killed. They don't want to not go home to their family, and they don't want to get fired. so this new dynamic really helped me understand both sides of the world.
Who's your favorite villain of all time, and who's your favorite hero?
I'm gonna say Vito Corleone is
that's
my favorite villain. Because as a man, I've seen the qualities of him. I never forget the scene when he comes home when he was poor and all he had was a pear. And he puts it on the table, he wipes it off, his wife wipes it, get the knife and cut it up, and they have the optimism of life. And he goes on to be a killer and goes on, but you still root for him and his family. So he's my favorite villain.
Yeah, I'd have to say he was a hero and a villain in some ways, but Tony Montana.
Oh, Tony.
There was certain things about him and the dream that he wanted, and how he goes about it, but he gets caught up. But I thought it was a really compelling character, man. I was like, wow.
It's funny, we catch ourselves liking a villain as a hero sometimes, or a hero turned into a villain.
Yeah, so I think hopefully that'll happen. That's a gray area this show lives. It actually lives in a lot.
Well, tune in and find out. Gang Related, 9 p.m. Thursdays on Fox. Watch these guys in it.